What's up everybody, today we're going to be doing the Swagtron Eb5 1-year review. So I've been pretty excited to make a review on this bike since it is one of my most frequently used devices. Now you have two color options for this bike. You can get it either in the black or in the white, and both of them come pre-assembled already, and the starting price for this bike is at $500. So the bike is built around its aluminum body, having both retractable seats and handlebars. The bike comes with 14-inch standard wheels, and the wheels actually fit really well with the bike as long as you're using pedal assist or the throttle. If you're going to be pedaling manually with the bike, it's not really the best option just because you really feel the weight of the bike, and since the tires are a lot smaller, you definitely have to use more pedaling and more power to keep going. So this bike uses V-brake braking system, and it's actually a really awesome feature just because if you're ever going downhill on this bike or you're on a path that requires less pedaling, the more you use the brakes, the more it actually charges your battery a little bit. So if you're ever low on battery and you see a nice hill that you can go down on, you'll actually recover some of that battery juice, and it'll help you in the long run. So this bike is IPX4 rated for water resistance, and what that pretty much means is if you pass by a path that has like the sprinklers, or let's say for example it's raining outside, like lightly raining, your bike will be okay. As long as you have the plug for the charger port on the bottom of the bike like covered or not really getting wet, you should be perfectly fine. I've never had any problems with it in the rain or with water, and I've driven this thing through all kinds of weather. So it has pretty high resistance to like kind of like almost all weather, but I wouldn't be really comfortable if it's pouring outside to ride this bike either. So next I want to talk about the power this bike has. So it's running on a 250 watt electric motor and is being powered by a 36 volt lithium ion battery. Now this bike is, I would say, mostly better for range driving rather than power. Don't expect to go really fast with this bike. It does top out at about 15 miles per hour if you're using full throttle. But if you're going to be using the pedal assist, you can actually push it a little bit faster to around 18 miles per hour if you're willing to put in a little extra work. So like I just mentioned, this bike, I didn't really buy it for the speed. I bought it more so for the range. But this is by no means a slow bike. Even if I'm using it in the slowest mode, which would be like the full throttle, it caps out at about 15 miles per hour. It actually feels really, really fast when you're riding it on the sidewalks or anywhere that pretty much no motorized vehicle should be allowed on. If you're using it on the streets, which I have, it doesn't feel that fast, but you don't feel slow either. You will definitely get to your destination within a reasonable time. If I were to compare it to a regular bike, I would say if you're using this bike with pedal assist, it feels like you're using a mountain bike on somewhat full effort. So pretty much if you're using pedal assist on this bike, you're going as fast as someone using a regular bike, but like trying really hard to be fast. When on this bike, you're actually using almost no effort. So another cool thing about this bike is that it actually supports up to 260 pounds. So even for me weighing 215, this bike still flies really fast. And if you weigh less than me, it'll be even faster than that. So it doesn't go faster than, I would say, 18 miles per hour, but the kickoff or the launch would be faster. Just because I'm a little bit heavier, it takes a little bit of time to really reach that full speed. But I've noticed with people lighter than me, their launch or their, driving speed actually builds up a lot faster. So as you can see in the video, the bike looks pretty small compared to someone of my size. Like I'm 6'2", and I pretty much have to max out the seat and max out the steering wheel in order for the bike to fit me properly. I can fit if I lower it a little bit more and make it a little less extended, but it would be harder to pedal if I did that. So now that we have some of the specs out of the way, I do want to talk about how this bike did for me. So for the past year, I have not got easy on this bike at all. Pretty much I've taken it to work, to the grocery store, to the gym, pretty much anywhere that I could go with the bike, I tried it. To put in perspective, to drive to my job is about a 30-minute drive, and it's 12 miles away. On a bike ride, it was 15 miles away, and it was about an hour ride. So the bike actually made it seem super easy with pedal assist. I didn't quite get the 30-mile range from pedal assist, but what I would do is I would pedal assist the majority of the way there, and then just finish it off with regular like pedaling, and I would use the same process going back to my house. And pretty much any destination that was under 3 miles away or even 5 miles away, it was super easy. I didn't worry about it at all. I could use full throttle and not pedal at all, and it would be super easy and still have enough juice to use it the next day. Now, in terms of charging the bike, it takes about 4 to 6 hours to fully charge it, and I never really had any issues in terms of like battery draining. I've had it for a whole year, and I haven't really had any issues with like performance issues at all. I would say out of the whole experience with this bike, I only have 2 main complaints, or I should say 3 main complaints. The main thing would be the seat. The seat is not like horrible, but it's definitely not a good seat either. You will definitely be sore if you use it for more than 30 minutes. The next thing I would say is the weight. It weighs 35 pounds, but it feels a lot heavier once you fold it up. I don't know why I had this idea that if I fold it, I could carry it anywhere with me, put it into restaurants, this and that. And you definitely could do that, and it's not that hard to do, but I definitely feel like it was heavier than it should have been. When I fold it up, it feels almost like 50 pounds. And the third main thing would be, do not use this bike when it's cold outside. Obviously, it's aluminum body, and you don't want to use it when it's getting to the cold temperatures, just because it will drain your whole battery, and you will be forced to be manually pedaling a really heavy bike.